in Birmingham when he was extradited from Peru. We waited there for several days, then he arrived because we didn't have a clear idea, no one did, as to when exactly he would touch down in the United States. We were there when he made his appearance in court. We were inside that courtroom. He pled not guilty. After he pled not guilty, I did have a very brief encounter with Beth Holloway, and we just exchanged a few words. I asked her if she wanted to talk about him pleading not guilty to this. She said not now. And her demeanor that day, Ted, starkly different from her demeanor today. I was just so happy to see her and that news conference today. She seemed elated, just so happy. She said, we are the victor instead of the victim. And that day when I spoke with her, you could tell still very sad. Obviously, she had no closure then, still trying to wonder. He came up, he pled not guilty. We heard him in court there plead not guilty. But today, pled guilty, of course, to these charges, extortion and wire fraud. But as part of that plea, he did offer what he did. He said what he did, said that he bludgeoned her to death. And so Beth Holloway got some closure, but she even looked at it as not even closure, better than closure, as what she said during that news conference. So just
a win, yeah,
a win. So great to hear from her and seeing her demeanor.
Yeah, you're familiar with the federal system. This is pretty extraordinary to have the wheels of justice turn in this manner.
You talk about just how a team effort here. I even remember when I was in that courtroom when he pled not guilty back in June, and you saw just the line of the Fed team walking in with their rolling briefcases, all the documentation they had, and then they had a lot of law students that were there as well, lawyers in training, or even just prosecutors that were just beginning in their career. So much of an effort, so much work went into this. And today they got justice for Natalie's family and just great work on their end for doing this. And what the U.S. Attorney was saying, today marks the end of 18 years of wondering what happened to Natalie Holloway and an end for the Holloway family. And she said the world has wondered what happened to her since 2005, and now today we know, according to what Joran Van Der Sloot did say.
Michael Schaefer is a national trial attorney, and he is in Dearborn, Michigan, joins us now. And your reaction to the events of today, the Holloways get what they wanted out of this. Joran doesn't get any extra time, but they get the truth. Your thoughts?
Yeah, it matters. It matters. There's so many people who lose loved ones who don't know what happened to them. Her family now know. I mean, this guy is clearly a villain. You know, new things set in for the family, which is now they can put a face with the last thing that their daughter saw. That's not going to be easy. That's going to be very, very distressing for the rest of their lives. But at least they know. And kudos to our justice system. I mean, this shows you that American justice, listen, it's not perfect, but it's the least imperfect system in the world. And look at what it's capable of. It found this animal in a third world country jail, and they tracked him, they brought him here. They have a very long arm. And the justice system, this justice system is the best system in the world. And you're looking at a man that evidences that, and they'll get you. They won't get everybody, but they'll get a lot more people than in pretty much any other justice system.
Yeah.
Hey, we're just getting the, we heard Beth Holloway, and we were, and Shanley Painter reported that we were going to get the transcript of that interview, the confession from Joran Van Der Sloot, and we're just getting it now. The prosecutors have released it. So, because we're just getting it now, we're just going to read it, rather than take the time to put it into a document. So it starts with Joran Van Der Sloot saying, plus, this is a partial transcript. She asked to go back to her hotel, but I was just trying to get dropped off a little bit further away from her hotel so we could, walk back to her hotel. I might still get a chance to be with her. Okay, that's what I was hoping for. Okay, says the interviewer. So what happens? Van Der Sloot, yeah, and Deepak drops me off at another place and a little right of the Marriott Hotel known as the Fisherman's Huts. This is a place not so far from, the next hotel is the Marriott, the next hotel after that, another one is another Marriott, which is timeshare, and then the Holiday Inn, and we walk along the beach. All right, they get out, come on now, what happens? Well, they leave, talking about his two friends, Deepak and Satish. They leave until they go back to the room. I assume they go back to the room. And then they get to their car and they leave. And actually, I'm with her, with Natalie, walking along the beach, and I find a space to get to before we get to the Marriott, where I lay her down. We lay down together in the sand, and we start kissing each other. I start to get her to kiss me again, and we start kissing each other, and I start feeling her up, and she tells me no. She tells me she doesn't want me to feel her up. I insist. I keep feeling her up either way, and she knees me. She ends up kneeing me in the crotch. When she knees me in the crotch, I get up on the beach, and I kick her extremely hard in the face. Yeah, she's laying there, unconscious, possibly even dead, but definitely unconscious. And I see her right next to, there's a huge cinder block laying on the beach. You say cinder block, says the interviewer. I'm looking at the walls like these. He points to the walls. Exactly the same, says Van Der Sloot. I see a huge cinder block laying on the beach, and I take this and I smash her head with it completely. Yes, smash her face, basically, you know, until it collapses in. Even though it's dark, I can see her face is collapsed in. Afterwards, I don't exactly know. I'm scared. I don't know what to do. I decide to take her, and I put her into the ocean. So I grab her, pull her, walk her into the ocean, push her off. I wake up, my knees in the ocean. I push her as far as I can, or push her off into the ocean, into the sea. And yeah, then I get out and I walk home. Wow.
Yeah.
There it is.
Yeah, we brought a copy in.